first time when you are opening the URL. For the subsequent opening of the URL, you'll straight away land into this particular page where you have a login button. By clicking on that, you can just give the sign in. It'll ask for the same email ID and password. You can provide the registered email ID and password and then continue the process. So this is the first step of your login. You have done a self-registration and you are logging in with the registered email ID and password. Once this step is done, these are the screens that explains you what are the step that is involved. Once you provide your email ID, you get into this step where you need to send a verification code. Once you enter the verification code, click on this verify code button, and then you get a message saying email address is verified, right? So you can just click on continue. Once you continue, you get into this page where it displays a welcome message for you that shows your first step of verification is completed. Now in the screen, it is asking you to enter your PBLApp ID. So what is your PBLApp ID? It is nothing but your resume number. Your resume ID or resume number, both are same. That will be here on called as for this application as PBLApp ID. So you have to provide your resume ID over here. Click on this checkbox and then click on proceed. Right. So once you're given everything properly, your resume ID matches, then it successfully allows you inside. If not, these are some of the common error messages that you'll be getting it up. One, if you are giving your resume ID wrongly, then you'll get invalid PBLApp ID. If this is a message like invalid PBLApp ID, it is 100% sure that you are giving a wrong resume ID. The next screen, the center screen, if you see, it is showing us account not found or invalid in PBLApp. So what does it mean? Is your email ID and the resume ID are not matching. Either you have given a wrong email ID, you have done a registration with a different email ID than what you have given to us. So that is why your account will not get activated. So please ensure that both the email ID and the resume ID should match. The third screen, it shows session expired. That happens when you have a network disconnect in between when you're doing this login process, or you are taking too much of time, because this process, this continuity of screens should happen between 30 to 45 seconds. Else you'll get a session timeout. If you're getting a session expired, all you need to do is go to the last below, click here to relogin, do a relogin fresh and continue. So this is the process for you to take care of on the sign in. Right now you have successfully signed in, you have logged in. What is there available to you to learn? So that is where we are getting into. Once you have successfully logged in, you will land up into this page. And one more additional information here. The moment you land up into this page, you get a pop-up that asks you to complete a mandatory program on information security, which I'm not showing it right now. So you just need to click on that proceed button and finish off those 7 minutes of videos before you continue further. Once that is done, you come into this PJP Foundation and PJP Core. Now, what is PJP Foundation? Right. So when you click on the PJP Foundation, you have been given 4 courses, the fundamental courses, which are mandatory, which are the basics for any person who needs to get into the IT world. So it's operating system, database fundamental, OOPS, and the web programming part. So you can just enter into all these courses. These are video based. Once you enter into that, you have a set of videos for that particular module. Complete those learnings, Once that is done, you'll get a quiz enabled on this side. So click on that quiz and take up the quiz to check how you are performing, right? So that is the foundation course. There are 4 courses to be completed. And then there is something called IT Trends, which talks about some of the emerging niche skills. Again, each IT guy should be aware of. So these are just introductory courses. All are video based, so you can just get into that, understand what is that all about and complete it. So these are the 2 main parts for you on the foundation, and your actual technical learning will be on the next side, that is on PJP core. So you can get into PJP core either by clicking on this PJP core directly, or you can go to the home page and select the PJP core. Now, once you get into the core part, there is a major activity. This is the technical learning what you are going to take it up. For a purpose of the demo, I'm showing the content of stream Java. However, each one of you will be mapped to a specific stream. Not everybody will be on Java. Based on the business requirement, each one of you might have been mapped with different streams. According to that stream, the content gets loaded. How do you identify which stream you belong to? That is on the top here. It shows which stream you are. So now I'm just showing you the Java and J2EE content. However, whichever stream you belong to, the content, the flow, the learning journey, the layout is going to remain same. So what you're seeing here is the same layout which you'll have for any stream. So I'm just going to make you understand what you're supposed to do here. Now on the left side, if you see, there are various action items. The menu kind of navigation is available to you on the left side, where you can see certain elements are there in gray color and certain things are in blue. There's a clear difference here. The blue ones are called as modules and the gray ones are called capsules. There are certain generic items on the top, followed by tech modules and capsule. So I'll come to this one by one. First, let's start with the module. Right. So what we have done, we have grouped certain topics into a combined group called module. And what is the philosophy in our learning that is going to happen here is a little different. It is not like what we do in colleges. We cannot just memorize and close certain things, or just theoretical knowledge will not suffice. Here our approach is more into something called the PBL, which is project-based learning. So we emphasize more on doing hands-on, more of assignments, more of exercises. So that's where we have given I do, I understand. So more of hands-on comes into picture here. Right now, when I open any of the modules, say for example, I'm opening a Java fundamental module. Any module that you open will consist of 4 parts. Every module will start by a mini project. That's what I said. It's a hands-on based activity. So how I'm going to learn here, this is the flow. First, you need to open the mini project. So each of the module, according to the module, will have 1 or 2 modules. So the project you need to open. Once the project is open, it is not that you are straight away going to do the project. Just go through the project and understand what is the requirement, what is expected from you on the particular project. Now, once I understand that particular project, the next thing I need to do is to complete that given project. I need to learn certain things. What I am supposed to learn to complete the project, is given in the second heading called topics to learn. So once you open the topics to learn, based on the module, you will get 4 or 5 topics. So what does it mean? If I want to complete that project, I may need to learn, understand all the given topics. Now, what's my next step? I need to complete learning the given topics. So you open one topic. Each topic will have 2 parts. It will have the learning materials for you, as well as each topic will also have the hands-on assignments. The first part what I'm showing you here are the learning materials. If you see the learning material, there are multiple ways of learning materials being given. There is a PDF file, there are website links, there are video links available on the same topic. So whichever way you are convenient, or it's a mix of multiple format, you can go through the learning, understand what it is all about, what is that topic, how you are going to understand that particular topic and complete the learning. Once your learning on a particular topic is completed, below the topic, you will have a set of hands-on assignments. So what you're supposed to do, you have to complete these hands-on assignments. So there are questions being given. Where do I need to do? You have to do in your local environment. You can have your required softwares or online IDEs. You can look into this program and complete the given assignments. Once your learning is completed, once your assignments are done, against each of the assignment, you have a checkbox. Just click on these checkboxes and then click on this update completion status. So this update completion status will help you have a track on how many assignments that you have completed. So for this particular module, you had 4 topics. So if you complete all the 4 topics, complete all the relevant assignments, that means it is good to do the project that is been assigned on this module. So go back to the project. Now, since you have learned all the concepts required for the project, you can go ahead and complete the project. So this is a flow that you need to make for every module. There are 2 more segments. One is the learning outcome and sample questions. These 2 segments, the learning outcome gives the expectations and the sample questions are for your recap. So if you can answer all these questions, you are well and good. Done a good job on the learning. For some of the questions, if you feel it's difficult or not able to get the answers, you need to go back and do a recap. So this is the pattern that you will be following on all the modules which has been assigned. The blue ones which you are seeing here are all modules. There are few things which are called as capsules. For example, if you see there is something called Eclipse overview and there's something called coding standards. These are capsules, which means that's for your generic learning. The capsules will not have any projects or assignments. It's just to make ourselves understand certain things like how do I install and configure my Eclipse, or what is the generic practice, and all such things will be in the form of capsule. So this is a major part which you are going to take it up on priority and complete all the assigned modules as per the stream that is allotted to you. No optional, all the modules has to be completed. Right, so this is one major part. Now what next for me? After the technical modules are done, there's another very important aspect, expectation from any programmer and developer, particularly coming from the fresher segment. It's like how the way we write programs. It is not just completing a program, just getting an output is not sufficient here. In the professional world, more effective program can happen provided there's a good logic building activity behind and you have a good problem solving capability. So these are two very important aspects in a technical learning. So there is certain modules which will help you to understand these things much better and help you solve. So if you go back, let me go back to the menu item. If you see here, there are various links given for logic building R plan M1, 2A, 2B, and there are much more stuff on the top like logic building. So these 3-4 documents are there to help you on problem solving. So the generic document will help you understand. These are the links that you'll be getting it over there, which will help you to understand how you break down a problem, how do you build a logic around it and go step by step. How do you handle different kind of situations? So complete all this learning, and then in each of the our plan, you have a set of hands-on assignments provided. So there are close to 50-60 such demo links available, which are directly linked with a platform called Metal. So you will see links like this, and these links will start from easy to then medium and difficult. So increasing the level of complexity on the problem solving. So how do you open these links? It is given in the guides. Do not just directly click on this link. You will not be able to open it. Either you can copy this link and paste it on the new browser tab, or you can just drag and drop in your browser tab to get these links open. There you have an IDE called Metal, wherein the problem statement is provided to you, and there is a code editor for you to type your code, get your logic running. You can test the logic against the given set of test cases to see whether your logic is meeting the expectations. So if you're able to complete all these 50 and 60 such demo practice links, I'm sure you can improve your logic to a greater extent. So you need to complete all these things. Now, if you have any doubts on how do I make use of this tool called Metal, how do I work around on all these things, you have a guide on the left side of the PBLApp links. You can see there is something called a Metal usage guide. So if you want, I can just show you that. So if you have on the top, you can see something called a Metal user guide. So you can open this guide, get an insight into how to make use of that platform, and then start working on this logic building. So this is your second segment. Sorry, the third segment. First segment is the PJP Foundation. The second one is the PJP Core, where you learn the technical part. The third part will be your logic building activity. Now what next? You have done your learning. You are doing the hands-on assignments. You are completing the given projects. Now, how do you send those completion to us for review, checks, and follow? So that is where the next area comes into picture. That is called the code completion tracker. Shortly, we call it as CC tracker. Now, once you open the CC tracker, there is a guide for you. Again, next to the guide which I showed you, like Metal usage guide, you have a CC tracker usage guide that will have all these steps mentioned. So this is again asking you for the username and password. Your resume ID will be the username and password here. Do not put your email ID. You have to give your resume ID as user ID and password into this screen. Once you log in inside the CC tracker, the same modules which you see on your PBLApp will reflect here with the radio button. And there are two segments called project submission and hands-on submission. Now what you need to do here, you're going to submit your completed assignments and projects. So what you need to do, first you need to select for which module you're going to upload. Come down, you need to select whether you are uploading a project or you are uploading an exercise. So you have to select both. Now, what is the file format you can upload? You can upload only two formats of files. One is the zip file. The other one is a plain text file. No other formats are supported. How the zip files to be created? It is given on the top. You have the instructions. You have to follow these naming conventions as given here. Maybe for a particular module, for a particular topic, all the exercise can be combined into one zip file and that can be uploaded. While you're creating the zip file, ensure that the zip file contains only the source code. No executables, no library files, no jar and exes over there. It will be rejected. So ensure that you have only the source code available in the zip file. So once you choose the file, select the file, then you click on this upload zip file. Then your file will be scanned for any infections or malware. If your file is clean, then the file gets successfully uploaded. Once it is uploaded, you get a green tag like this saying the file is uploaded successfully with a date and time stamp. If something is wrong with your upload, then you get a red tag mentioning what is the issue on your upload. So follow those instructions. Now, once you upload, it will not get reflected here immediately against a particular module. Nothing to worry, do not upload again. That goes for a recheck from our end, backend check. Only then it gets reflected. So if you do a fresh login, you'll be able to see the upload reflected here. So you can see how many uploads you have done, the number of submissions, and what are the files that you have uploaded successfully. Right. Now, one key point here for a particular module, how many zip files you can upload? Yeah, you can upload multiple files. The next question, what happens if you have uploaded a wrong zip file and you want to modify it? You cannot delete that file. However, you can upload a fresh zip file and the latest zip will be taken for consideration. So this is how you need to do it over here on the file uploads. This will help us track your learning progress and completion. That's the third part. Fourth part over here, and the last here point would be, now you are in a remote place, you are in a remote working, you are doing your learning online. Now what happens if you need support? Where you go and get support technically. So that's where we have another element called discussion forum. Again, the link is there with you on the PBLApp itself. So once you come up here, it asks for your username and password. There's a default password which will be instructed on the screen. Once you log in, again based on your stream, you get mapped to the same discussion board. All you need to do is go to the specific forum for which you have a doubt. For example, if you have a problem on wrapper class, go to that wrapper class forum to post your query. Do not post in a wrong forum, then it will be difficult to get a response. So once you go there, you can post your query. Now you can post your query with a screenshot also for better understanding. It can be on your hands-on, it can be your learning, but this discussion forum is purely only for the PBL related activity, nothing on the onboarding or other non-technical things. Now, two things can happen here. The moment you post a query, it's a thread. So your colleagues also will be there in the thread. And if somebody has already knows the solution, the answers, they will also pitch in to help you into the forum. Yes, we also have our mentors bridging in over there to support you, right? So this is what you'll be doing on the discussion forum. Now, what the last activity here, which is not a real activity, but it's for you to track what you are doing. There's something called a dashboard. There is on the top on your PBLApp, there is a link called My Dashboard. You can click on this My Dashboard. You get into this dashboard. That will give you an overall picture on the submissions that you are having. So that also helps you to understand where you stand. All right. So you can see the overall progress of your percentage, the submissions against each module, and whether it is completed or in progress or you're not even started. All such checks you can do it over here, right? So that is how we have covered some 4 to 5 aspects of your learning. To summarize it, you should understand what is your self-registration process. Follow the process. You will get a guidelines PDF file which has the step-by-step approach. So follow that and do your self-registration. Once that is success, on a daily basis, you can access the portal and go through the learning. So what are the segments there for you? You have a foundation course to be completed. Before that, you have an information security course to be completed, then foundation, then come to your PJP core. In the PJP core, you complete modules, projects, the learning topics and assignments. Then you get into the logic building part, complete those things. You have a CC tracker where you upload your submissions to us, and then you have a discussion board which will become a handshake and a bridge between you and us for any technical support. So that's a complete process what you have seen till now. Before I end up this demo part, let me give you a few more generic instructions that will help you in your learning journey. Point number 1, you need to have a steady internet connection to access our portal and make use of it. So ensure that you have a steady connections, else you will get a slowness or your sessions are getting expired. Point number 2, you can access this URL from any devices, even you can access it from your mobile browser. So there is no separate mobile app. However, you can use this portal from your mobile device also. Point number 3. There is an ideal session. There is an ideal session timeout of 15 minutes. So if you have logged in and then you are not doing any activity on the portal, might be you are doing some hands-ons in the other IDEs. Now what happens after 15 minutes of idle time, your session get expired. So in that case, after that, when you come and click on any of the links, you'll get a message stating session is expired. So nothing to worry on that part. You need to re-log in and continue. Point number 5, there may be a case where you are signing in, getting into the portal, but immediately you are getting a session expiry. Not even 5 minutes, within 2 minutes or 1 minute, you're getting a session expiry. That means you have already signed in another browser or tab, or you're trying to use it parallelly on 2 devices or 2 browsers. That is not allowed. So if there are parallel activity, your session will expire immediately. So these are some of the generic guidelines which you need to follow. And going forward, if you have any queries, any support required, you need to reset your account or something kind of it, always feel free to write to head.pjp@wipro.com and the team will be there to support you. So as my concluding point, this access is given exclusive for your own usage. So do not try to share your credentials or access to somebody else of your friends. If that is been verified, your account will get locked immediately and will be deactivated. So ensure that you use this portal for the right method of learning. That's it from my side. Now we will open up for some of your queries, and you can post your queries on the chat window. Kindly ensure, as Lakshmi has pointed out, please post your queries only related to what you have seen here on the demo and your PJP activity. So that's it from my side. Thank you for your time. Lakshmi and Robert, we can take it up for queries now.
Thanks, Suresh. I've seen couple of queries which were listed. First thing is we have couple of candidates from our WIMS hiring as well, WIMS domains as well. So as per as my knowledge, they will not have the CC tracker. If you can correct that and explain them, otherwise these candidates will come back to us saying that they don't have a CC tracker to upload as such.
No, participants who are being mapped to certain streams like data center or CIS will not have the CC tracker. In that case, that link will not be available to you. For the other streams who have been mapped, you will have the CC tracker enabled. So if you have a link, if you have been asked to do it, do the uploads. Otherwise, if you're not having that link on the display, kindly ignore it.
That was very important. Other important question, candidates, most of the candidates have written to us saying that, can you change your email ID? Yes, there's a possibility of changing the email ID. For change of request of email ID, you need to drop a mail to manager.campus@wipro.com. Once we receive the request within 48 hours of business working days, we will be able to help you with the same. Before that, you are not supposed to change the email ID, because whatever email ID you have received the orientation mail, the same email ID needs to be taken care while you are registering also. Now, Suresh, 2-3 questions which we have always faced or we heard from the candidates are, one thing is the timeline. So you can mention that one particular point. Other thing is PJP mandatory? The third thing is if the candidates can change their stream. So we can answer that, and then let's see if any more other questions are there which are not posted. We can take it forward.
Okay, so point number 1, the default duration of your learning is 1 month. So probably if you're activating your access by tomorrow, 18th, by 25th of December, you're supposed to complete your learning. Point number 2, the stream which is allotted is based on the business requirement. So whatever stream that has been allotted to you is a stream that you are going to continue on your learning journey. We will not entertain any request of stream change. Lakshmi, any other queries? I think you have given 3 questions, right?
Yes, that's it. That was the 3 queries I could see. Regarding turbo results candidates, we will be accordingly informing you about turbo results in the month of January. So no related to any questions related to turbo, we don't have an answer for it. You have to wait till January 2022. Regarding BGB issues, regarding documentation process, as I've already mentioned the email ID in the chat box, please refer to the same. If they haven't responded, we will please mention your resume number in the chat box. I will accordingly take it forward with the team so that at least within 2 business working days, we can respond to you. Now, PJP is a mandatory process. Regarding eligibility as such, we have multiple hiring candidates present here in this session. So I'll not be able to give you a confirmation about what is the percentile. You can, however, drop a mail to manager.campus@wipro.com for such queries. Any other query related to PJP? If one of the slide was not, you were not being able to understand it well, we can again walk you through the same. Any doubt related to PJP, please let me know. One query, what is the overall submission time? We have already mentioned it. It is 1 month. Within the 1 month, you need to try to make sure that you complete. and it is very important your PJP is aligned to your onboarding as well. So you have to make sure that you log in and you complete. We know that due to some personal other unexpected circumstances, you may not be able to complete it 100%, but you have to try, you complete it, you divide your particular activities. As of now, as per as my knowledge, everybody has already completed their final semester exam. So you are either studying or either waiting for Wipro's offer letter as such. But offer letter is with respect to if you meet all the eligibility criteria and you have uploaded all the necessary documents simultaneously to keep you engaged and to keep you trained before you get inside Wipro campus. That's the reason this particular module is prepared for you. So request everybody to process this, and it is not accessible from mobile platform. So you have to have a good network. Either you have to have a desktop or a laptop. That's as per as my knowledge. If I'm wrong, Suresh, you can correct me on the same.
Yeah, so they should have a steady connections. They can also access this via the mobile phone if they're having a good net speed. On the mobile browser, they can access the portal. However, to do the assignments and things, they should be good with your laptop or desktop.
Yes. Shweta, I guess, when can we log in and start with the PLPI? I guess by tomorrow, end of the day, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, yes.
By tomorrow, that is 18th of November, by and after 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. in the evening, you will be able to access this. Anyway, we will be sharing a PDF format to you with all the necessary guidelines, whatever was presented in the particular presentation now. You will be able to see that as well. So you not to worry about the same. I guess any other query? I'm scrolling, but I am not being able to hear a different query. We have to complete both foundation also before. Yes, all whatever the training was enlisted here, you have to complete it. Okay, Kush has one question, Suresh. If I write code for hands-on question, this code is not run on this platform. Sorry, I didn't understand, Kush, your query. Could you please rewrite it properly? Suresh, if you have understood it, please try to give an answer for the same because I didn't understand the query at all.
You have to work on the hands-on and ensure that it is a running code before you upload it. Do not upload any code just for the sake of uploading. Ensure that it is error-free before you upload.
We already mentioned about the deadline. Already Suresh has explained about the stream. Stream selection or stream allocation is done out based on the business requirement. Candidates don't get an opportunity to select or change the stream. We will be allocating it, and accordingly the access will be provided to you. So I hope Samyak, I have answered your query. Regarding offer letter and everything, you have to simultaneously upload your documents while you are accessing this particular training program. Once you have fulfilled all the criteria and once you have uploaded all the necessary documents which we have requested from your end, you will get the onboarding soon. So you have to kindly wait until then. Whenever there is a clarification required, when we send a mail, please respond to the mail accordingly. Any I guess we can wind up with the session because rest all the queries are related to documentation as such. Where do not worry about the documentation process. We will have a complete different session for the same as well. I have already written an email ID in the chat box itself. You can take it from there and mention the queries. Please, whenever there is a query or a concern or you are not being able to access a particular portal, that is for PJP, there is an email ID which we have mentioned. Kindly make sure that you mention your resume number, you take a snapshot of the error, you mention your phone number and the email ID so that in case we are not being able to communicate it over the mail, we can even give a call to you. The same goes with the BGB issues. You can drop a mail to manager.campus@wipro.com, but kindly make sure you are taking the snapshot of the same. Otherwise, there is 2 on 4 transactional mail. Your time would be wasted. we will not be able to come into a conclusion. So that's a very important aspect which you need to take care of. We can wind up the session, Suresh. So thank you for joining, everybody. All the best. I hope to see you all onboarded soon, but please make sure that you are completing all the sessions, whatever we have given. Any other queries you have, you can always reach out to manager.campus for the same. Do not worry about the PGB issues and everything. We will have a different session where all these things will be resolved. So that will be taken care. Thank you. All the best. Thanks, Suresh, for joining. Ruchi, thank you so much for joining.
Thanks, Lakshmi.
Thanks, Lakshmi.